fun episode of PNWild Reviews. I'm joined by my colleague here, Patrick, and we're going to dive into some optics. So, entirely for 2018 season, the season where we saw it through, if you will.
Saint it.
We're going to see it through now. Well, we ran strictly Vortex last year, and I don't think we were let down at all. Would you second that?
Yeah.
Maybe not known as the most high-end of high-end glass, but they are really well known for quality, durability, and just darn right going to do the job.
And good people.
Yeah.
A good company
Awesome
behind
people. And we will definitely stand behind the guys behind Vortex. We met several of them now at Expo.
Totally.
And the guy I deal with, Mark Boardman, he is a stand-up dude, so we are happy to support folks like that. So we're going to dive in on the left-hand side here and work our way to the right. Over here at the very end, we have a Viper 85 millimeter spotter. The Viper is the little brother to the Razor. It's going to be $1,000 less at the MSRP. All in all, I think it's a very, very stout, very doable lens or optic for a lot of people. It comes in, I think, what is it at Cabela's? What can you go get it for right now?
Like $1,000. You're gonna pay $1,000.
So $1,000
in that ballpark of price range.
Yeah, it's
pretty hard to beat.
It's right
pretty
there.
hard to beat for $1,000
for clarity, glass clarity, price, durability, and what you're getting. I mean, it's in comparison to size, you can see that it's a tad bit bigger than the Razor. You know, it's
heavier. It's heavier. It's heavier by a good bit.
It takes up a bigger footprint in the pack.
Sure.
It's gonna weigh more. It is a 20 by 60 by 85, so you're getting that 85 millimeter objective. The one thing that I would say that if you're looking through them side by side on a tripod, you're gonna instantly see that the field of view is much smaller compared to the Razor.
Totally.
Glass quality, we did a side-by-side comparison multiple times. Awful light situations and great light. What was your instant thought on glass clarity?
I think the clarity's on par. The light gathering might be just slightly less in the Viper HD. I think the clarity and color is the same on the Viper. But like you said, the real, for somebody who spends as much time in the field as we do, the real problem I have, I guess, is that field of view. Yeah. You're losing. It's like looking through a tube. You know, you get that tube feel, and which is kind of, you know, because if you're using a spotter right, you're looking at that whole field of view before you move it again. Yeah. And if you're limiting that footprint, you're seeing it can be a downgrade. Yeah,
and that's the only thing that we would say. But you're going to pay $1,000 to get that better field of view and maybe a little bit of light illumination there.
Sure.
All in all, I think it's a great optic for the price range. We didn't complain about it once. I know Zach brought it up in the high country this year on our big hunt, and he loved it. It's a great. We put the phone scope adapter on there, and some of the footage that you're going to see and seeing it through is through this spotter. And I would dare you to try to tell the difference between the phone scope footage out of the Razor and the phone scope footage through this. Yeah. Maybe if you take what we said here and you might be able to see that field of view difference, you might be able to call it. But as far as clarity and, you know, just ergonomics and ease of use on this, it's right there with the Razor. You're just going to get the guts of it. You're going to have a smaller field of view and maybe a little bit light, maybe a little less light gathering on that piece. And then moving down, we're going to do
real quick. Who do you think is the prospective the target market for this? You?
I would say the mule deer hunter that maybe, you know, a weekend or two in modern, or maybe, you know, he draws a tag or something like that. Maybe a guy that's not in the field, like you said, 100 plus days like we are, that doesn't really see the point of dropping $2,000 on a spotter.
Sure.
I think this like you said, under $1,000. You got a couple gift cards to Cabela's or something like that. You're gonna put some money towards this. I think this is a great option.
Yeah, I would say the Nevada, Southern Utah guy, you know, where it's a requirement to have a spotter to even be in the game.
Sure.
But you're only hunting a couple weekends a year. I think this is a great option.
Absolutely a great option. I would highly recommend this to anybody that doesn't really see the benefit or not see the benefit, but doesn't really see
the return of that investment, because it is double. It is double to step up to the Razor.
And this is going to be your flagship. This is the Razor 27 by 60.
In the 85, it is a 22 to or no, I take that back. In the 85 mil, it is
27
a
to 60.
27 to 60.
Yeah. So this is a 20 to 60, 27 to 60 by 85, both 85 millimeter objectives. And so this is going to be your flagship, and this is their middle of the road. Now this is the only other one to make.
Which is where that field of vision change comes in.
Yes.
That eyepiece being limited to 27 to 60, that's where you're getting that increased field of vision. In this is all of that is decided back here at the ocular lens, and then when we say 85, we're talking about the objective lens, which is the front element.
Light illumination gathering there. So next one up is the only thing that's not Vortex on this table, which is Zach's pair of Sigs. These are the Zulu 7 10 by 42s. He ran these entirely in 2017, and then 2018 he rocked the Viper 10 by 42s. But I know he actually loved these. He had zero complaints. He loved the ergonomics. The focus wheel, it's very, I mean, feel that. I mean, it's right there. It's very nice. The ergonomics to me isn't what I liked, but Zach has said high things about him.
Yeah.
I know he would, he'd probably pick it up. Zach, would you recommend these to somebody?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're a great piece of glass. Very comparable to, like, that middle-of-the-road Vortex glass.
Perfect. Yeah. And I think these come in at around $7.99. I think is what he's saying. Don't quote me on that. I'll put the link below to all this stuff down there. So take a look at these if you are so inclined. These are the Sig Zulu 7s, and Zach, he liked them. Up next is what Zach used in 2018. These are the Viper HD 10 by 42s. And honest to God, I've put these on a tripod right next to the razors. And we did the 12 by 50s, the 10 by 42s, in both the Razor and the Vipers side by side on a tripod, and I'm telling you what, these are right there. I think the color was a tad different on the Razor, but glass clarity and light, I think was right there.
Yeah.
I'm betting you're not going to sit down and just be like, oh, these are a million times better.
Yeah.
But price range, I think these are $650 to $700. And then the Razors are almost double that. I think they're $13 out the door.
$1,200, something like that.
So I know these are a little bit, like price point is almost half, but these are a very doable, very well-performing optic for that $650 range. I would also, again, agree to say that Zach would recommend these to somebody. And
I think the
ergonomics are great, dude.
I think the only thing you're losing from the Razor to the Viper is when you step up and spend that extra money, you're shedding weight and you're shedding footprint. They're smaller. The Razors are slightly smaller, and I don't know, man. I think slightly lighter.
Yeah, I think the Vipers are smaller.
Well, as far as height, but I think the overall footprint of the Razor is a little slightly more streamlined.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that they might feel a little bit better in the hands. They're a little bit tighter, but and as height wise, Viper's got to beat by a little bit.
Sure.
But
and we're talking about, like, we're splitting hairs.
Oh, totally.
We're talking about small things. I think for, like we said, for most people, if you're running a couple of weekends in the year, the Viper HDs are probably.
I think that Viper system is just directed towards those folks that are in there a couple weekends a year, or But then we're up to the Razor, the flagships here this year with the adapter on there.
And I know And admittedly, I bought these on clearance out of the bargain cave, and I picked them up for $600 out the door.
It's a steal.
So I couldn't not buy them at that price. And I love them. I think they're great. I'm a huge fan of the Razor line eye cups. I think, and luckily the new Viper HDs have a very similar eye cup to the Razor HDs. The mechanisms aren't as fluid on the Viper HD. I noticed the Razor has a little bit better eye cup mechanism. And once again, we're splitting hairs. This is really small stuff, but I know I run my binos on a tripod a lot, so I run Vortex, their uni adapter, which is as far as tripod adapters go, they're money. It just drops right on, you're good to go. But I love the 10x42s. The only thing I think I'm going to change for this season is I'm going to step up and try the 12x50 Razors and see how those work out for me.
Nice. Yeah. Next down the line is those are Bob's Those are the old Talons.
The hold down.
Yeah.
The Talon 10 by 42s.
Yeah, I think those are inside of there. They have a heat-seeking device that shows where the deer are, I think.
Yeah, well, and they run on steam.
Yeah.
They're steam powered.
I think they might run off of peanut butter.
Yeah. So these are Eagle Eye Bob's.
Inside joke for old Bob there.
Watch seeing it through. You'll know why. He's running these Talons, and albeit they are very large.
There's probably pushing 10 years old, 12 years old now.
They're bigger than the 12s by a good bit. But as Bob noted before we started this review, these exact binoculars that I hold in my hand found 3 of the deer that we killed and brought off the mountain. So that goes to show you, it's not the glass, it's the man behind it.
That's it. Know how to glass. He'll give you a glassing lesson for a jar of peanut butter.
I know for a fact you can find these used on classifieds or really anywhere. You could find these for pennies on the dollar compared to the razors. Yeah. And obviously, as we've already said, they found 3 deer that we ended up killing. So
I think they're a very capable optic.
Yeah, if you were going for a super economic option.
As you can tell now, I think the Talons kind of got overtaken by the Viper line. They were very comparable price back when they were both in the lineup. But, I mean, look at that. And you got the same 10 by 42 in each one. So I think they just kind of got outdated. They like, a little too big ergonomically. But they're going to do the job. I think they're right there. But God almighty, and now I know why his feet hurt so damn bad on the way out.
Next in line is the Viper HD in a 12 by 50, and these exact binoculars are the ones that made me want to try the 12 by 50 in the Razor. I really like the extra reach you're getting with the 12. I think it's super fitting, even for an archery hunt. You know, when you're trying to just peek through that brush and see something coming in.
You might just get that ear flick.
Totally.
That you're not going to, maybe not
wouldn't
totally see with a 10.
Yeah.
If you're glassing like we were, 700-800 yards out,
totally.
You might be able to see the white of a face or a swish of a tail or an ear flick or
a tine
turn.
Sticking up.
Something like that, and that's where you just got to know the country that you're hunting in. Maybe, say we're elk hunting, you're going to take your 10s.
Yeah.
If we're a high country field you're hunting, you're taking your 12s.
Totally.
So that's where I could really see a 10 fitting into your bank. And knowing what you're going to be hunting, knowing your surroundings, knowing your country, and then maybe just throwing the 12s in instead of a 10. And that's why Patrick, I think, is kind of swayed towards that 12 because we kind of dialed in and we know that we like to hunt mule deer and more than elk.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it more.
Having them another tool in the toolbox, right? Because I'll probably take both 10s and 12s in the truck and being able to decide last minute, like, hey, it's kind of brushy.
Yep.
It's going to be thick. I'll probably just run 10s because I'm not going to be able to see that far. But if you get to a spot that you've seen on Onyx and you don't know, what is it going to look like? You show up and it's just break country with sage.
You're taking
for
12s
miles.
every day.
I'm gonna pull the 12s 100% because it's just going to give me that little bit of extra reach. And probably the only thing, because I know I looked at the 12 by 50s in the Viper HD and in the Razor right next to each other out in the front parking lot of our local Cabela's, and the only difference I found between the Viper HD and the Razor is color. That's exactly. That's it. No field of vision difference, no clarity, no light gathering difference to my eyes at good sunlight, not low light. So I would have to update later on the low light conditions. But I can say that color is probably the most overlooked important feature of optics because color, what are you looking for when you're looking for a bedded mule deer?
Yeah.
You're looking
Something
for
that
a color
out
difference
from
right?
the foliage.
Exactly. So you're looking for a slight color difference and you're going to catch
tans.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to know, going in what color am I going to be expecting to see? Is this a summer deer or a fall deer? So I think color is very important, and that would be the only reason for me that I would go with the Razor 12 by 50 as compared to the Viper. But if you need a ton of reach, if you're out in the desert, southern Utah, something like that, you need a lot of reach. I think,
or just like what we did in the high country.
When
you're glassing 1,000 yards out, 800 yards out, and you're picking something apart.
12s would be great, and I know that we've looked through the bigger options like the Kaibabs in the 15s or even the Kaibab 18s.
Yep.
And the problem is the binos just get so big length and width wise.
Yeah.
And
So
I
heavy,
feel like
bulky.
I feel like the ergonomics fall off
They
really
do.
hard.
They
They
do.
get to where the ergonomics
They're
are
not
not
comfortable
as
in
good.
the hand. I think that's the sweet spot right there, the 12 by 50.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's that middle of the road. Like I don't really want to pack a 15,
Yeah.
and I need more than a 10. I think that 12 by 50 fits that bill perfectly, unless of course you're hunting Arizona where you just need 15.
Sure,
Your
yeah.
coast deer or something like that.
Well, and we always have spotters on us. So if
That's
we're
true.
really in a position where a 15 or an 18 might work, we're just gonna throw a spotter on the tripod and call it a day. Start tearing it apart with that.
Agreed, man.
What do you have to say? These are do you have anything more to add on the Razor 10 by 42s?
No, not really. I think they are an absolutely phenomenal optic for that. Excuse me, for that hunting style that we do. I haven't needed more. I haven't wanted more, but like you said, the eye cups are perfect. The focus wheel, I feel like is one of the best. What we felt at the expo too, putting them up against other optics and just feeling, oh man, I just really feel at home with the razors in the hand. They're very ergonomically appealing to me. I just like the way they fit. They fit in the harness good, nothing catching on them. I don't know, man. I think the Vortex line really has their stuff dialed in, and they're designed and made for people like us that are gonna get after it. I mean, you can see I have just carnage from a season of hitting it hard. And one last thing we will say about Vortex is
Crazy warranty.
Their VIP
Crazy warranty.
If you have anything left over, bring it to them and say hey, this happened. They're going to replace it.
Well, we saw at the expo
a house fire.
They had house fire victims. They had car crash issues.
Yep.
They had stuff that had fallen off cliffs.
Yep.
Like binos in pieces, spotters that were bent.
From running over
a
a truck, falling out of the truck, stuff like that.
It's literally no questions asked. Doesn't matter what you or the conditions did to it. They'll fix it or replace it.
Yeah, they just say bring something in that we can identify, and we're going to take care of you. So that's where Vortex is going to take care of their customers. And one last little wrap up, Patrick, would you just recommend the Viper line towards somebody?
Sure. Yeah, I think like I said before, the
know
guy
your country.
know your country, know the amount of time you're going to spend hunting every season, and there's no reason. I don't think a guy who's spending 1 or 2 weekends a year. I don't think you should spend the $1,200 to buy this and the $1,600 to buy this.
No, I would tell that guy every day of the week buy an out-of-state tag and some Vipers.
Exactly, yeah. I would rather see him spend more money on tags and have a great hunt season and maybe make do with lesser gear. It's not even lesser. It's just it doesn't have some of the advantages. And anytime you're talking about moving up from intermediate to pro level gear, the amount of difference you're getting gets smaller and smaller. It's not exponential. It's like you're spending 50% more for 10% better product at the end of the day. It's just the nature of it. Technology does not move that fast.
Yeah. And we're not saying that Vortex is the best on the planet, but they are the best for what we do and what we're doing right now. So we're just giving you guys a review on what we used for 2018 and what we're going to be using in 2019. And it's worked for us, so we're just putting this out here for you guys, anybody in the market or anybody not real sure yet of what they want to do with their money yet. So again, the Viper 85 is a very, very capable optic, and then the whole Viper series line is awesome. Like you're definitely getting quality stuff for that money. You're going to be
great for the budget-minded guy,
absolutely,
or gal.
And their flagship Razor stuff, we can't say enough about them. Any last second?
Yeah, I think the Razor's going to fit that more avid hunter, somebody who's out, 60, 70 days a year. That's going to make a whole lot more sense because that little 10% increase in quality, it makes sense for the investment.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching, guys.